Well, here we are. Cantos. My brother from another mother. Talk about it. Well, this is the first two, Pally. And this is the sacred room at the LOH. And this is where we carry everything that we bear. And that includes my beloved auto harp. The one that went through the earthquake of '94 and lost its life. I still have the body, but its spirit carries on too, so I shouldn't say that. But it doesn't play anymore, but here it is. And I wanted to share the story since you asked me to share it with you. And it's a long one, so I figured I'd put it on video. Anyway, I must have been 4 years old, brother. 4 years old, and we lived in Howard Beach, New York, and everybody used to hang out at the family's house, bring their instruments and whatnot, and I was a little spoiled brat. I mean, what can I say? I was brought up around the most colorful people that ever lived, and they'd come together and they would jam all the time at the house and leave their instruments. And of all the instruments, I used to gravitate towards my Uncle Doc's auto harp. It was Uncle Doc, and I used to strum it. I used to push the buttons. And I loved this instrument, I gotta say. I used to have at it. And I'd watch my Uncle Doc play. And one day, Uncle Doc came to the house and said to my mom, my mom, the family, I'm leaving. I'm moving on somewhere, God knows. And I need to take my harp. So he comes to grab the harp while I'm picking at it. I said, what are you talking about? That's my harp. He said, Scotty. I said, that's my harp. He goes, well, I'll tell you what. He says, I'll give you $20 for it. Now, to a 5 years old back in, '69, that was a hell of a lot of money. That was a respectable offer, you know. But, of course, I looked at it, ripped it up, threw it back down the ground. I said, that's my harp. So I saw him whisper at my mom. Anyway, he left, and my mom has to fill in. She used to fill in. God bless you, Mom. Rest in peace. She used to fill in the things that I couldn't remember. Anyway, long story short, my Uncle Doc took that $20 bill. He taped it back up. He went to the drugstore down the street and he bought 100 pieces of penny candy, and he came back with a full bag of candy, color, and 19 singles. And I made a deal with the devil. And before I knew it, my beloved auto harp was gone. So was my Uncle Doc. And I was there with a tummy ache that lasted forever. Seemed forever. And I cried. And I cried and I cried until I didn't have a 4-year-old tear left. And my mother said, Scotty, that's your first lesson in life. If it's something you love, you don't give it up at any price. She said, and so you don't get your heart back, and this is your lesson learned. Well, it wasn't until Christmas, gosh, what was it? Forgive me, my memory is going. One special Christmas, I went up to Baldwinsville, New York, to visit my mom, who was living up there temporarily, and there was only one gift under the Christmas tree, and it was oddly shaped, and it was heavy. And we always had an expression in our family called it heavy shit. My mom always said, look around here, there's a lot of heavy shit. If it's heavy, it's got a value, right? It ain't gonna break. So you hold on to it, Scotty. And there was some heavy shit under the Christmas tree. Anyway, I didn't know what it was. I was stumped, and I told Mom, I said, Ma, I said, you better wake up early or you're gonna miss it. Because I'm going downstairs, and I'm opening up my Christmas present anyway. She got up early. Everybody got up early, got downstairs, and I opened up that box, and I didn't quite, I remember, but not quite. It was surreal, and I was so wonderfully uncomfortable. I said to my mother, I said, yeah, I'd be excused. And I went upstairs with the harp, and it was snowing outside. Oh my God, Baldwinsville at Christmas this year must have been 100 feet of snow. It was just... And when you're from Brooklyn, you don't know from snow. You just know from slush, So this was like, holy shit, unbelievable. Anyway, I put the harp, sat it right down in front of the ledge of the window. and it must have been refracting off of the snow, the sunlight, and a rainbow like you couldn't dream of. You could. Came shining down over the harp. And I sat there looking at it, and I took it as a I took it as a moment with my creator. And after I wiped that tear from my eye, I sat the harp down backwards, upside down. I'm left-handed. So who knew? I used to just strum it like this. So anyway, I sat it down. And I thank God, and I thank my mom. And as Beatle fate, I don't know if you can see the Beatle shirt. Yeah, I'm a Beatle fan forever. Would have it, she bought this harp in a little neighboring town called Liverpool in New York. And anyway, so first song that comes to my mind is Hotel California. Why? I'm going to have to ask God someday. But 20 minutes later, I'm playing Hotel California on that harp right there, like you wouldn't believe, singing, strumming. I don't know how. I'll never know. Maybe one day. Anyway, I came rolling down the stairs. Everybody's, having breakfast and whatnot, and they're looking, smiles abound. And I said, everybody stop, listen, look. And I continued to play the song. And the breakfast was just rolling off the table. My hands were just magical, on fire. And I played the song. And everybody was silent. It was one of those moments in life like, what have we done now? Right, Oh, Scotty's come full circle. I never came back to Florida. I went from Baldwinville straight to Los Angeles, which I probably should have went to Nashville or somewhere a little more mellow with one of these. But as fate would have it, I never considered myself I'm a songwriter at heart. I've always felt like I've had a message, and if God gives you a message, it's your responsibility to share it, give it back to the world. And this instrument gave me that ability to do that, to share what I felt was in my heart. And I'm sorry, I'm a little overwhelmed. I hope you're not getting bored with the story. But ended up in Michael Jackson's publishing office. I think it was called Me Jack Music once upon a time. And if it wasn't, talk about karma, there was a Beatle poster that was behind my bed that I laid my kepi on all my years growing up, and that was hand painted. That poster was hand painted on the wall at Me Jack Music. And I'll never forget, the guy looked at me like a dog looks at you, when he doesn't, your dog looks at you when he doesn't know what you're thinking. And he looked at the harp and he looked at me. And here's another part of the crazy story. So here I am standing at Me Jack Music. I'm looking up at the doors and I got my harp in my hand. Little thing that says Me Jack. No handles on the doors. Beautiful mahogany. I take a step up. Me Jack Music. Me Jack. Next thing you know, the doors open up. They open up and there's this long corridor. Like the Wizard of Oz. And at that moment, Scotty Rains turned into the Cowardly Lion. I took a look to the right. I didn't know where I was going. My friend got pissed off at me because I never told him that was my music, me. I used to manage an Italian suit store. And every time you'd walk in, you'd hear my music because that's how I practice and just, did my thing. Walked in one day, he said, Scotty, who the hell is this? Every time I walk in, this stuff's playing. I said, thanks for asking, it's me. He goes, get that, that's not you. And I said, that's me. He goes, you knucklehead, you're never going to make it in this city if you don't get out of the box. And, I never did, but I did end up in Me Jack Music that day. And I did have the producer turning his head. But the crazy thing is, God would have it. I'm walking down the corridor, and it's never happened to me since. Never happened to me before that moment. When I realized that I was in Michael Jackson's publishing, out of the closet to Michael Jackson, I'm walking down the hall. I lost my voice. You can't make this shit up. So the Cowardly Lion's walking down the hall, and I got no voice. I'm going, you gotta freaking be kidding me. One shot. So I get to the end of the line. I think it was Toni Braxton, some beautiful woman. She was doing a photo shoot. She laughed. She said, it's gonna be all right. She said, try some of this. I make it for me, make it myself. So I tried it. Anyway, never got my voice back. But I dubbed, I played over with my tape and whatnot. And I had my 15 seconds, and it was a beautiful thing. I'll never forget it. And, well, the way things are going now, I'm glad I haven't forgotten it, because I may have to get back into it. Anyway, I'll stop there. I could go on and on forever. You know, maybe I'll start my own gig, you know? Who knows? I got a lot of shit to share, but thanks for listening. And Kantos, like I said, brother, I'm proud to be a part of anything you're a part of, and to be the first brother to, who knew, you know, that's karma, and we're going to roll with it, all right? So love everybody, and we'll see you soon. Peace.